Hey, what's up? Just want to talk to you guys about the 5 ways to increase your SEO rankings. Tip number 1. So to start out with, you want to make sure you know what keywords your business uses. And if you are doing local search, you want to make sure to type in where you want your searches to be done. So there's tons of free online keyword finders on the internet, and Google has a bunch. And if you just Google keyword planner, keyword finder online, you will definitely come across some free options. So for me, my main service is digital marketing. And so here it shows all the different ways people search for digital marketing online. And here we have the overall search volume. So I know Kelowna is kind of a small place, so there's not a lot of search volume, but essentially it'll kind of give you a rough idea of how many searches per month are happening for each of these keywords. And with these keywords, you want to integrate it with the content that's on your website or in your social media posts or just anything that's going on online. So you want to get an idea of what your main keywords are, use the most searched ones in a lot of the stuff you do. Tip number 2. So let's just come to Google here and type in painters in Kelowna. So here we have kind of the first ranked website in a Google search. And we want to compare it to somebody who's not doing quite as well. So we'll head over to page number 3 and click into this G Hunter Painter. And so we're not comparing actual services. I'm sure both of these companies do just fine services, but we're looking at how they're ranking and like maybe why they're ranking where they're ranking. And so we come on to CertaPro Painters here, and we can see, they have a lot of pages. And then as we scroll down on their website, you'll see they have a lot of content as well. So showing people what they do, very important. So all the different services they offer, who they are as a team, some of their work. And yeah, so they get a lot of words on the page with, some of their main keywords as the services on their homepage. And so they've done a really nice job here of laying it out well, but also giving Google what it wants, and that's relevant, high quality content. So now let's compare it to the guy who's on the 3rd page. And you can see a massive difference. So everything just fits on one screen here. Not a lot of words at all. Just a lot of room for improvement. And so there's 3 kind of main ranking pillars in Google. And one of the most important ones these days is content. And so if you're not focusing on the content on your website, you are definitely at a disadvantage to your competitors. So the people who are doing well right now are the people that are continually posting content, adding services, adding FAQs to their homepage, that kind of stuff. And another great place to add that content in is through blogs. And so this guy does have a blog. However, he posted in 2014, 2011, 2014, and it's not what you would typically consider as a blog. When we come over to these guys down here, you can see they've got all kinds of blog posts, tons and tons. And so we won't get into like the dates of it all, but I mean, if you wanted to compete with these guys right now, you'd be looking at doing probably like 1 to 2 blog posts a week and adding content, service pages. Like these guys have all these different services under residential. So whatever service you do, it would be, create a new page for every service that you do. The next thing that we're talking about, tip number 3, we're going to talk about H tags. So H tags are called heading tags, and they range from headings 1 to 6. And they are essentially the first things that Google reads when it comes to your page. And so H1 stands for the most important thing you should have on your website. So you want to come back here to your keyword planner, find your very top search keyword. And if you're trying to rank your site locally, you want to put your top keyword in with your location. So for me, it would be digital marketing in Kelowna. That's what I want my H1 tag to say. And so I'm just inside of Elementor here in WordPress. I know a lot of people use WordPress, so this is a good example. And so you just come here in this is just a normal title or text box here. And in the content section, you can come to HTML tag. And so you can tag these as any one of the H1s to H6s. Very important tip, only one H1 tag per page. And so now that I have digital marketing in Kelowna tagged H1, do not tag anything else on this page H1. Then as we scroll down, you can see they've done H3 for these ones. So still relevant to what they do, less important, less searched. This guy here is hidden behind an image, so I'm not sure, but they've tagged it H2. And so on. Here's just another kind of website builder. This is the one I use for my websites. And this is my business as well, Kelowna Sea-Doo Rentals. And so when we come here, we've got one of my main keywords and my location, and that's tagged H1. Here's another variation of keywords in H2. And then, of course, as it goes down to lesser and lesser importance, you tag them kind of as it suits. And so when it comes to H2 and H3 tags, you can have as many as you want, really. Just, don't tag everything in H tags, but it's okay to have more than one H2 and H3 and H4 and so on. Tip number 4, you've got lots of images on your page. And so making sure to have alt text in your images is really important. Alt text is a way that Google reads what an image is if someone impaired was to visit your site. And so if someone was impaired, like the visually impaired, and they couldn't see the site, there's tools that can read the sites to these searchers. And so you want to make sure that your images say what it is about. And so for me, this image here, it says a man riding a jet ski in Kelowna. So again, this is another opportunity to use your keyword and your location. So it's just another area to get more relevant content on your page. And so all these images on these pages can have alt text. And usually when you click into the image, it is pretty apparent where that happens. So coming back into Elementor or WordPress, it's a one extra step here. So you select your image or whatever, and you choose the image. You go into the library, and you can pick whatever image you want, but essentially the alt text would be right here. And we kind of just wrote a little thing in here, a lawyer ready to take a court case in Kelowna. It doesn't describe it exactly, but you want to use the keywords appropriately and put the location as much as you can. Tip number 5, backlinks. So backlink is something you get from another website. So essentially, if someone wants to reference a page of yours or give you credit for something, they'll put a link on their site to your site. So what do I mean? Right here on Tourism Vernon. So I reached out to Tourism Vernon because I provide jet ski rentals to the locale of Vernon. And so I asked them, hey, can I put a link of my website on your website? And they said, yeah, sure, no problem. It's relevant here. See, they've got motor rentals. And so this is on their site, linking to my site. And here we are. Not quite as easy to do. It does take some outreach and some effort, but there are strategies to get links on people's blog posts, or if you want to maybe write an article for somebody's website, you can get a link back to your website. There's a lot of different strategies you can use to get backlinks, but they're important. But I guess the main thing to keep in mind here is consistency. So whether that be keywords, you consistently want to be adding kind of new variations and longer forms of keywords to your website. With the content, you want to be adding, those FAQ sections and those blog posts, probably multiple times a week if you're going up against somebody like CertaPro. And with the H tags and alt text, I mean, that's more of kind of a one-time thing, but combing through your entire website to make sure that that's done properly. And then with backlinks, you should be looking to achieve, a few decent backlinks a month. And if you get those things in order and you just do that consistently month over month, you're definitely going to see an improvement in your Google rankings. And if you guys need any help, or you know somebody who's looking to increase their Google rankings and essentially get more calls for their business, I'm happy to have a conversation with them and see what we can do. All right, we'll see you next time.